So, you want to no-hit Queen in Deltarune? Well, I can teach you how. Now, to be honest, Queen is kind of a pushover, at least when compared to her Chapter 1 counterpart, King. So, yeah, there's not much to say about that. So first, let's go over equipment. First, you're going to need the Mecha Saber on Chris, as well as the Pink Ribbon, the Auto Axe and Devil's Tail on Susie, and the Raga 2 on Rousey. Now, maximum damage is important for this strategy, but if you don't have any of those things, then I'll show you what it will look like without them. Right, so let's talk strategy. Now, of course, if you're doing Pacifist, you can free Birdly and just toast with the Queen, but in this strategy guide, we're going to be fighting her instead, because that's the fastest way to defeat her. So, yeah, it is important that you land as much damage as possible. That's why I recommended the equipment at the beginning. But again, if you don't have those things, I'll show you what it will look like. If you don't have those, I'll show you pacifist ways as well. So, just attack, land those crits if you can. And dealing enough damage, you'll already be at the first toast attack thing. The acid. I don't actually know what this is called. Acid shield. There we go. So acid shield. Now, you could use Rude Buster with Susie, but here it's just enough HP where all 3 crits is enough to take it out. Now, obviously I didn't do a very good job of that, but I'll get it next time. Now, otherwise the attacks will just go in order. So right now we have Birdly tossing tornadoes at us because Queen is brainwashing him. So now I'm just going to attack with that. Not using Red Buster yet. Or Rude Buster, whichever. Now this attack, just move to the side, just close enough so you can graze them. But if you don't want to graze them, then that's fine. Just stay away from them as much as possible. Now, of course, you can just use Red Buster, which is insanely powerful in this. Now, I'm going to do that. And remember, in Chapter 1 and 2, to get the maximum damage, you can mash, or you can just time it. But this time I'm going to mash it, because it's Chapter 2. See, you can deal like over 500 damage in one hit. Right, now we're at the second acid attack, where this time it rotates. So you will have to pay attention to the trajectories, stay in the middle as much as possible. Nothing too shabby. And of course, if you touch the acid, you'll just get hit anyway. Right, for this one, I'm just going to use... I actually don't remember what my strategy was to do here. I think it was red here. Yeah, just use red here. Because that does more than enough damage to do as most of the shield. Right, this one, just wait till they explode. They move slowly as they enter the bullet box, so this can be done no problem at all. Right, for the next one, for this attack, just defend with Chris and Susie and only attack as, like, just a tiny slap with Rousey. Right, lasers, they randomly aim, sometimes they miss, sometimes they don't, but just move around in like the Sans attack movement thing. Now, if you're at 34 or less, you can use Red Buster here and end the fight. Which is exactly what I'm going to do. And just like that, it's over. You can beat Queen incredibly quickly. When opposed to King. Queen takes like half the amount of turns that King does. Now, I'm going to show you what happens if you don't end the fight early and you get some of the later attacks. Right, so this time I'm only going to be using regular attacks if Queen doesn't have the shield up. Otherwise, I'm going to just be using Red Buster. Or Rude Buster, whichever's available. Rude Buster here. Of course, Rude Buster is weaker, but... not much you can do about that, unfortunately. So this attack... not even sure what happened there, but okay. So just use regular attacks. Now, second shield. Grind as much TP as possible. And then use red here. So here, just alternate between the middle and whatever side's available. Now, attack again. Just keep attacking. Can't keep dodging forever. And now the third acid attack, where it rotates even more violently and the drops spawn a lot more frequently. Now, no matter what you do here, you're going to end up facing final attack anyway, so I'm just going to use red here on the shield and just eliminate it with Rouse. So now we come to ultimate attack, and this is heavily obstructed. I got a little bit lucky here, but you will have to predict where the projectiles are going to go. You do have a little bit of a hint with those, but it's best if you avoid that anyway, because there's a chance you won't be able to see them at all. Okay, now just finish off the fight like this. And that's really all there is to it. Queen is surprisingly easy when compared to the to King in Chapter 1. Alright. I'll do Giga Queen as well, because they're technically part of the same fight. You do go against the same enemy. Giga Queen is a little bit more difficult, at least in terms of execution, or rather learning, shall I say. Because most of her attacks are just memory. You just have to learn what the attacks do. The red soul attacks are harder, obviously, so try not to run into those. But, yeah. Using Devil's Tail on Chris actually helps with damage here as well. So, and wow, I absolutely suck. So, as soon as Queen blinks, move out of the way. And I'm going to have to restart, because there's a no-hit mode in this. Now, the way you get TP in this fight is if you cut the attacks insanely close, but that's really precise, so I don't recommend that method. Now, it is important that you dodge first before attacking. It's like playing Punch-Out. You don't attack while the enemy's attacking, otherwise you'll just miss. And with that, we're done with Phase 1. Oh, Round 1, sorry. Now, Round 2 is where things get a little bit more difficult. Because of this. A double attack. Now, that can happen sometimes, but from what I remember, it only happens like once in a no-hit, so... So, I find this phase a little bit more tricky because of that acid attack, but if you just take it slow, then you can get it no problem. Now, I'm going to go laser mode. Duck. And again. And again. And attack. So now we're done with round 1 and 2. Now round 3, if you haven't been hit at all, then she's going to power up and the attacks are going to be a lot faster. So be prepared. Except I used restart, so that doesn't happen. Damn you, Toby Fox! Bearing in mind, this is also in the Chapter 1 to 4 release. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but it's annoying. Now, if you get the ball, just strike it whenever it comes close. And just like that. And then you can land some more hits. Now I have her on little HP, I'm going to use laser mode. So now we come to round 3, where if you haven't taken a single hit, she will pep up, go blue, and the attacks will be a lot faster than they normally are. So if you haven't prepared for this, then good luck, because these are fast. So again, just take it slow. Just like that. Now, we come to the final attack. Now, there are 2 ways you can do this. Number 1, you could just weave between the drilling queens and do it normally, or you could just do this. Not exactly what I meant to do, but yeah. If you use turbo dodge there and you're quick enough, you can end the fight right there. I wasn't wrong, was I, when I said Giga Queen was a pushover? So now that that's done, we're going to take a look at what this all looks like in a single run. I love Knock You Down so much. Oh, it's a killer song. Right, so that's how to no-hit Queen and Giga Queen in Deltarune. Now, apart from King, there's not really a whole lot I can teach you. Now, I know there's ERAM in Chapter 3, but to be honest, I'm not good enough to teach you how to do that. And besides, the attacks are pretty much basic anyway, considering it's meant to be like an NES game. It just gets very hectic in like Phase 3 or whatever. So I won't be covering ERAM, but I will be covering King next. And I think from that, that's going to be it. for my tips and tricks regarding bosses in Deltarune. So, yeah, I'll see you all in the next episode of Sill's Tips and Tricks. Bye, guys.